नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य सिद्धान्त कौमुद्याः बहुव्रीहिसमासप्रकरणे तृतीयः पाठः। मार्च् मासस्य 9 दिनाङ्कः। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Well, sorry for the delay. I was just waiting to see if there will be a few other people. They don't seem to be. Usha Mahodaya, are you aware of why nobody from the US group is here today? I see only 2 other people who are my other students, but none of the MA students actually seem to be here other than you.
No, I don't know. We have time change, but not today. It will be affecting next Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So not today.
Oh, I'm very surprised. I mean, there is nobody else other than you who is here. And I have not got any mails informing of any. It's okay. Anyway, they'll catch up through the record.
Chandrasekhar Mahodaya didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's very prompt about informing me about any such thing. So I was just wondering. Anyway, that's okay. We'll start and anybody will catch up through the recording.
Or you can do our questions. Or you can do some the questions which we have, whosoever is there.
Oh, sure. I mean, that can be done anytime. If you have questions, certainly. You have any questions regarding, the previous ones?
Yeah, and the basic between the Rudi and yogic words.
Rudhi, Yogika, those words whose meaning is entirely dependent on the etymology. For example, if I say Ganta, it means he goes. He who goes is called a Ganta. Nothing else. I mean, everybody who goes can be called a Ganta. A Pachakaha is somebody who cooks. Pachati iti Pachakaha. Wherever we get the meaning from the etymology purely, we call it yoga. Rudhi is where sometimes the etymology might hold good or it might not, but the meaning principally derives because of convention. For example, you have a word like pankajam. Pankajam means a lotus, but if you look at the etymology, it means panke jayate. Panka is slush or something, so that which is born. So there are so many things which are born in slush. There might be insects, there might be some other flowers, anything, but none of them can be called pankaja. Pankaja is restricted to lotus because of convention. That is what we call the rudhi. Okay. And pankaja is not even like pure rudhi. It is called yoga rudha because the etymology holds good. The lotus is born in the panka. Pankajameva kintu anyat kimapi pankajamiti nochyate rudhya. Ataha yoga rudhihi. We have both yoga and rudhi. There are some words on the other hand, for example, a word like lavanya. Okay. Lavanya means beauty or grace. Etymologically deriving, it comes from lavanasya bhavaha. Okay. So, but the salt has absolutely nothing to do with lavanya. Okay. It is only rudhi. By convention, we know that lavanya means grace or beauty. Whereas etymologically, it will simply not make any sense to see what the word means. So that is what we call a rudhi. Pure rudhi. That the meaning derives only from convention. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
So rudhi is simply.
Then I got there as a hello.
Tell me, just a second, madam. So Geeta Mahodaya says that she has Chittur exams. Sure, no problem. You can catch up with the recordings anytime. So, yeah, continue. You have other questions?
Yeah. Sapatni, there are three types of vigraha, I mean 3 types of samasa they said.
Yeah, but we have not yet covered it. We'll be covering it today.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry because
No
with
problem.
you going back and forth, I was not
Yeah,
clear.
I understand. It might be slightly confusing, but now I'm coming back and I'll be covering all that now.
Okay, no, that's fine. 1 second, I have something else I want to ask. Did we cover Panchanguli Hastha?
No,
Okay, good.
we've not gone yet so far yet.
Okay. Mruga Sakti we covered. And
Yes.
then in the Mruga Sakti, in your handouts it says Mrugasya Sakti, which, but in our black book, the KSOU book, it says Mrugaha Sakti. How can that, or that's a mistake?
Mrugaha Saktihi
Yeah.
with no.
Mruga and then Visarga, Mrugaha.
I don't know how a Karmadhara Samasa can be. I mean, Mruga and Sakti.
See, example before that is Uttara Saktam. So there it is a Uttaram Sakti.
Yes, Uttara is an adjective to Sakti because we say it's the latter part of that bone. But how can Mruga be used as a Visheshana to Sakti?
Yeah, that's what I was. I don't know.
I'll think over it if it is a type ornament or if they have some other sense in mind. Mrugaha Sakti does, I mean, at present I don't see what it could mean at all. So I'll see if it is possible.
Okay, thank you. Right now in front of me, that's it.
Yeah, sure. Anytime if you have questions, you can raise them, no problem. So, Anvarteshyamah. बहुव्रीहि समासप्रकरणम् अधीयमानमस्ति. शेषो बहुव्रीहिः इति बहुव्रीह्यधिकारः. इतारभ्य द्वन्द्वपर्यन्तं बहुव्रीहि समासः. तत्र प्रमुखं सूत्रम् अनेकम् अन्यपदार्थे. शेषः नाम प्रथमान्तम् इति अधिक्रियते. बहुव्रीहिः इत्यपि अधिक्रियते. अन्यपदार्थे विद्यमानम् अनेकं प्रथमान्तं वा समस्यते स बहुव्रीहिः इति सूत्रार्थः. So we have the samasa of many prathamanta words which come together to indicate something else, anya padartha. This is why we call it as anya padartha pradhanah bahuvrihi. Ubhayoh padayoh artham atirichya anyasya padasya arthah pradhanam bhavati bahuvrihi samase. Bahuni udaharanaanyapi drishtani praptodakah udharathah pītambarah ityadayah. संख्यया व्ययासन्ना दूराधिक संख्याः संख्येये. संख्यया अव्ययम् आसन्न दूर अधिक संख्यावाचकम् इत्येते संख्यया समस्यन्ते. संख्येयवाचकया संख्यया. So that is another kind of bahuvrihi samasa. For example, upadashaha dashanam samipe ye santi te upadashaha iti avyayasya संख्यया समासः. आसन्न विंशतिः येषां ते आसन्न विंशाः. अत्र आसन्न शब्दस्य संख्यया समासः. एवम् अदूरत्रिंशाः अधिकचत्वारिंशाः द्वित्राः द्वौ वा त्रयो वा. संख्यायाः संख्यया सह समासः. So all these are bahuvrihi samasas because of this sutra. Ding namani antarale. Disham namani पूर्व दक्षिण उत्तर इत्यादीनि अंतराले वाच्ये. When the direction in between them is intended, तदा समासो भवति स बहुव्रीहिः. दक्षिण पूर्व उत्तर पूर्व उत्तर पश्चिम और पश्चिमोत्तर इत्यादयः. तत्र तेनेदमिति स्वरूपे. तत्र तेन इदं. तत्र नाम सप्तम्यर्थे ग्रहण विषये एवं तेन तृतीयार्थे प्रहरणविषये इदं युद्धं प्रवृत्तम् इत्यर्थे समस्यन्ते स बहुव्रीहिः इत्यर्थः केशाकेशि केशेषु केशेषु गृहीत्वा इदं युद्धं प्रवृत्तम् केश केश स्वरूपयोः परयोरेव समासः तत्र पूर्वपदस्य दीर्घः भवति समासस्य इच् समासान्तो भवति इच् कर्मव्यतिहारे इत्यनेन सो अव्ययीभावश्च तिष्ठद्गु प्रभृतयश्च इत्यनेन तिष्ठद्गु प्रभृतीनि च इत्यनेन अव्ययीभावत्वमस्ति तेन अव्ययं भवति सुपः लुक् भवति केशा केशि दण्डा दण्डि मुष्टि मुष्टि इत्यादीनि रूपाणि तेन सहेति तुल्ययोगे तेन सह तुल्ययोगे नाम समानक्रियायोगे सह इति अव्ययं समस्यते तृतीयान्तेन पुत्रेण सह आगच्छति इत्यर्थे पुत्रेण सह सह इत्यस्य पुत्रशब्देन समासः तत्र विकल्पेन सादेशः वोपसर्जनस्य इत्यनेन सपुत्रः सह पुत्रः इत्युभयं साधु so these 5 are the sutras which give bahuvrihi samasa अनेकमन्यपदार्थे संख्याव्यासन्नाधिकदूराधिकसंख्याः संख्येये दिङ्नामान्यन्तराले तत्र तेनेतवित्सरूपे and तेन सहेति तुल्ययोगे along with this there are a few vartikas under अनेकमन्यपदार्थे so that is all about bahuvrihi samasa vidhana okay. So there are many karyas which are associated with a bahuvrihi samasa. One of the main ones is Pumvadbhava. Okay. So now I am coming back to what we left in between. Okay, I had left out a chunk in between because it was not directly Samasa Vidhana. So I had gone on to the Samasa Vidhayaka, other Samasa Vidhayaka sutras in Bahuvrihi. So we are coming back. So hopefully if you have any confusion because of the back and forth, it should be cleared after we do this chunk. Then everything will have been covered in between. So there's one major thing on Pumvad Bhavaha. Striyah Pumvat Bhashita Pumskad Anung Samanadhikarane Striyam Apurani Priyadrishu. It is Sutram. We have seen a sutra from this, that is Karmadharaya Jatiya Deshiyeshu as a part of Karmadharaya Samasa, which also gives Pumvad Bhava. And the main Pumvad Bhava Vidhayaka Sutram Atra Asti Striyaha Pumvat Bhashita Pumskadanung Samanadhikarane Striyam Apurani Priyadishu. The Shat Padani Sutre Bhashita Pumskad Anung Ung Abhavaha Asyam Iti Bahuvrihi. So it is the Anung here is Ung Abhavaha Asyam, that which does not carry the Ung. Ung iti Stri Pratyaha. Tap, Dap, Jap, Nip, Nish, Nin, Ung, Ti iti Ashtau Stri Pratyaha Bhavanti. Tatra Ung iti Stri Pratyaha. Udaharanartham Vadhuhu, Shvashruhu इत्यादिषु यः प्रत्ययः श्रूयते सः उङ् प्रत्ययः अतः अनुङ् उङन्तं न भवेत् इति एकः नियमः. सो भाषितपुंस्काद् अनुङ् इत्यत्र निपातनात् पञ्चम्याः अलुक् षष्ठ्याश्च लुक्. वस्तुतः किं भवेत् भाषितपुंस्कं च अनुङ् नाम अनुङन्तं च तस्य अथवा तस्मात् इति भवेत्. तस्य पुंवत् इति भवेत्. किन्तु भाषितपुंस्कात् इत्यत्र पञ्चम्याः अलुक्. भाषितपुंस्कात् अनुङ् यस्य अस्याम् इति भवेत्. But the Panchami is not deleted in the Samasa. Aluk. Aluk because of Nipatana. Because Panini has used it that way. Shashthyashcha luk. Anungaha iti bhavet. Yaha yatra bhashita pumskad unga bhavaha asti. Tasya striyaha pumvat iti anvayaha. So Shashti vibhakti bhavet. Tasya cha luk nipatanat. So it's an irregular usage which is justified only because it is used in the sutra. तुल्ये प्रवृत्तिनिमित्ते यद् उक्तपुंस्कम् तस्मात् परः ऊङ् अभावः यत्र तथा भूतस्य स्त्रीवाचकस्य शब्दस्य पुंवाचकस्य इव रूपं स्यात् समानाधिकरणे स्त्रीलिङ्गे उत्तरपदे न तु पूरण्यां प्रियादौ च परतः इत्येतावान् सूत्रार्थः. So there's, I mean, don't worry about the long sutrartha. It is all obvious from the words in the sutra itself. He is just describing them. Okay. स्त्रियाः पुंवत्. कः अर्थः? स्त्रीवाचकस्य शब्दस्य पुंवाचकस्य इव रूपं स्यात्. A strilinga word will be converted to a form like the pullinga. For example, if you have aja, it will become aja. If we have sundari, it will become sundara. If we have anything gopi, it will become gopa. Okay. The strilinga, stri pratyayanta, will be converted to a form like the masculine. That is what we call the pumvad bhava. Pumvat, pullinga shabdavad bhavati. इत्यर्थः. कीदृशस्य भवति? स्त्रीवाचकस्य शब्दस्य कीदृशस्य? भाषितपुंस्कादनुङ्. नाम भाषितपुंस्कं भवेत्, तस्मात् परः उङ्गभावः यत्र, and it should not be उङन्त. So what is a भाषितपुंस्क? तुल्ये प्रवृत्तिनिमित्ते यद् उक्तपुंस्कम्. समाने प्रवृत्तिनिमित्ते यत् उक्तपुंस्कम्. प्रवृत्तिनिमित्त is the reason or that which the word primarily denotes. Okay. So tattu tulyam bhavet. Udaharanam pashyamah. I think it's in the next one. Just a minute. Ha. Bhashita pumskam nama kim? Bhashitaha puman yena. That which has already told a man or a masculine form is called the bhashita pumska. A word which is now in strilinga but which has earlier denoted a pullinga. That is, which is also capable of denoting masculine. So, pumstve stritve cha eka pravritti nimittakam. It should be the same pravritti nimitta. Basically, it means it should carry the same meaning in both pullinga and strilinga. Okay, so pravritti nimitta here means that for which the word exists. That meaning which the word exists to convey is called the pravritti nimitta, and it should be the same in case of pullinga and strilinga. What does it mean? Udaharanam ajaha aja ityasti. Ajaha iti pullingam, aja iti strilingam. So both words denote the same animal. Okay, aja in addition indicates the femininity, the stritva of that animal. But the pravritti nimitta for both is the same animal. Ekameva प्राणि विशेषं द्योतयितुं उभावपि शब्दौ प्रवृत्तौ. अतः प्रवृत्ति निमित्तं तुल्यम्. श्वेतः श्वेता. श्वेत is whiteness. So उभयोः प्रवृत्ति निमित्तं स एव गुणः. श्वेतः नाम गुणः. It is the same guna which is both of them convey. Okay. So the strilinga word in addition conveys the stritva. But beyond that, the pravritti nimitta for both is the same. Gachan, gachanti. Ubhayoh pravritti nimittam gamana kriya. So both of them indicate the kriya of gamana. Okay. So all these words are those which have the tulya pravritti nimitta. The same pravritti nimitta in both pullinga and strilinga. Now this strilinga word aja is a bhashita pumska because the word has already indicated a man. अज शब्दादेव स्त्रीत्वविवक्षायां टाप् प्रत्ययः भवति. अतः इदानीम् अयं शब्दः भाषितपुंस्कः. That which has already told a masculine meaning, which has conveyed masculine meaning. एवं श्वेता इत्येतद् भाषितपुंस्कम्. गच्छन्ति इत्येतद् भाषितपुंस्कम्. So all words which have forms in both pullinga and strilinga are bhashitapumskas. If you have words like nitya strilinga, for example, something like Ganga iti padam, bhashitapumskam na. Itaha pullinga rupam nasti. It does not have a pullinga form. It is compulsorily strilinga. So such words are not bhashitapumskas. There are also words which have different meanings in pullinga and strilinga. For example, tulye pravritti nimitte iti kimartham vaktavyam. Kuta shabdaha asti, kuti shabdaha asti. Kuta shabdasya ghataha ityarthaha. It means a pot. Whereas kuti in strilinga, it indicates a house. Kuti, kutiram ityadinam griham ityarthaha. Kuta shabdasya tu ghataha ityarthaha. Okay. Even though the word exists in both lingas, kutaha kuti iti linga dvaye asti, kintu tulyam pravritti nimittam nasti. Kuta shabdasya pravrittau ghatatvam nimittam. It exists to convey the property of ghatatva, whereas kuti exists to convey the property of a grihatva, the property of a house. So they do not have tulya pravritti nimitta. So kuti is not a bhashita pumska. Griham ityarthe ayam nitya strilingah. Tasmin arthe pullinge prayogah nasti. Ataha bhashita pumskah na. Okay. So bhashita pumska is a strilinga word which can convey the same meaning in pullinga. Okay. Same meaning other than the stritva, everything else is conveyed by the pullinga form also. Okay. So such words are called bhashita pumskas. So coming back to the sutrartha, tulye pravritti nimitte yat ukta pumskam. So keeping the pravritti nimitta as the same, that which has a form in masculine also. That's the first condition. Tasmat paraha unga bhavaha yatra. And it does not have a ung pratyaya on it. That's the second one. Tatha bhutasya strivachakasya shabdasya pumvachakasya iva rupam syat. So the rupa will be like that of the pullinga form when samanadhikarane strilinge uttarapade, when followed by an uttarapada which is also a strilinga and which is samanadhikarana. Samanadhikaranyam bhavet. Ubhabhyam padabhyam eka eva ektihi athava ekameva vastu suchitam bhavet. So that is what we call the samanadhikarana, when they both refer to the same adhikarana. So samanadhikarane strilinge uttarapade. So that is the sutrartha. Apurani priyadishu. Arthat purana pratyayanta shabde pare pumvad bhavaha na bhavati. Priyadigane ye shabdaha pathitaha teshu pareshu pumvad bhavaha na bhavati. It's a negation. So sutrartha is striyah pumvat bhashita pumskadanu samanadhikarane striyam. Tathat sati pumvad bhavaha bhavati. Purana pratyayante uttarapade priyadigana patite va uttarapade pumvad bhavaha na bhavati. So kaha niyamaha purvapadasya niyamaha strivachakah shabdah bhavet. So it should be a feminine form. Bhashita pumskaha tulye pravritti nimitte pullinga rupam api bhavet. Ung anta bhinnaha, and it should not end in an ung. So these three are the niyamas for purvapada. Uttarapadasya ke niyamaha samanadhikaranam. Purvapadena saha samanadhikaranyam bhavet. Strilinga vachakam bhavet. There are some words which are compulsorily pullinga. I mean, some adjectives, even though they indicate a strilinga, they can be, I mean, the word can be napumsaka or pullinga. So such words are not accepted. So samanadhikaranyam bhavet, strivachakam bhavet, purana pratyayantam na bhavet. Okay, we will see what are purana pratyayas later. Priyadigana patitopi na bhavet. So if all these niyamas are satisfied, we have striyah pumvat. There is pumvat bhava, which means the strivachaka is converted to a to the form which resembles a pullinga form. Purvapadasya pumvat bhavo bhavati. So we saw what is a bhashita pumska. So kim udaharanam diyate idanim gostriyoho iti hrasvaha chitra gavo yasyeti laukika vigrahe chitra as go as iti alaukika vigrahe chitra guhu. So chitra guhu iti udaharanam. Kim chitraha gavaha yasya saha iti alaukika vigraha. He who possesses chitraha gavaha. Chitra is a multicolored cows. Multicolored. And gavaha is a cow. So he whose cows are multicolored, not all of the same color, they are multicolored cows. So chitraha gavaha yasya saha. Chitra jas go jas iti alaukika vigraha anekamanya pararthe ityanena bahuvrihi samasaha krittadhita samasascha ityanena pratipadika samya प्रत्ययस्य लोपः सुपोधातु प्रातिपदिकयोः इति. सो चित्रा गो इत्यस्ति. अत्र स्त्रियाः पुंवत्. चित्रा इति स्त्रीवाचकं पदम्. उक्तपुंस्कम्, इट इज एन एडजेक्टिव. सो चित्रः means a multicolored in pullinga. So chitra is multicolored in strilinga. अतः भाषित पुंस्कम् उक्ते तुल्ये प्रवृत्ति निमित्ते उक्त पुंस्कत्वम् अस्ति. It is a स्त्रीवाचक. It is not unganta. Okay, so all this are satisfied. Go iti punaha samanadhikaranam. Chitraha gavaha. Chitraha iti goho visheshanam. So it is samanadhikarana. Yeah? And then it is a strivachaka. Go iti strivachakam padam. It is not in the priyadigana or is not a purana pratyanta. Ataha chitra iti purvapadasya pumvad bhavaha bhavati. Pumvat nama chitra. पुल्लिंगे प्रातिपदिकं भवति चित्र स्त्रीलिंगे तु चित्रा अतः चित्र इति भवति सो चित्र गो स्त्रियाः पुंवत् इत्यनेन पुंवद्भावः ततः गो शब्दस्य गोस्त्रियोरुपसर्जनस्य इत्यनेन ह्रस्वः यू सीन दिस सूत्र long ago in the avyayibhava prakana so upasarjanam yat stri pratyayantam athava go shabdah tasya hrasvah bhavati. So since it is apradhana, that is rasva, okara is converted to ukara. So chitragu iti bhavati. Tasya rutta visargayoho. So pratyaya chitraguhu iti rupam. He who possesses multicolored cows ityarthaha. Atra purvapadasya pumvadbhavaha, uttarapadasya hrasvaha. Rupavad bharyaha iti aparam udaharanam. Rupavati bharya yasya saha. He whose wife is very beautiful. So Rupavati iti stri pratyayantam bhashita pumskam. Rupavan Rupavati. The same forms in Pullinga and Strilinga. So and it is not unganta. Rupavati bharya. Tatra bharya shabdam samanadhikaranam strivachakam apurani priya. So it is not neither purana pratyayanta nor priyadigana. So again we have Pumvad bhava. Rupavati becomes Rupavat. It is the pratipadika which you have to take. So the pratipadika for pullinga is rupavat and that for strilinga is rupavati. So rupavati becomes rupavat. Rupavad bharyaha iti rupam. So these are examples of striyah pumvat. Okay. So now he raises a question. So there are two words. It is fine. The purvapada gets pumvad bhava. What happens when there are three words? As we saw, anekam anyapadarthe iti uchyate. Anekam iti uktatvat ekena ekasmad adhikam. That which is more than one. It can be two, it can also be three. Even if we have three words, we can have bahuvrihi. What happens when there are three words? How do we get the pumvad bhava is a question. So chitra jarati gauhu yasya iti vigraha. Yasya gauhu Chitra jarati. Chitra is multicolored and jarati is old. So he whose cow is multicolored and is old. So chitra jarati gauhu yasya saha iti samasa karaniyaha. We do a samasa with three words. Chitra jarati gauhu. So all words are strivachakas, all are bhashita pumskas. So how do we do a pumvad bhava? Chitra jarati gauhu yasya iti vigrahe anekoktehe bahunam api bahuvrihi. Since the sutra says anekam padarthe, it means that more than one, any number can combine. Therefore, bahunam api bahuvrihi. Trayanam padanam yugapad bahuvrihi samaso bhavati. Atra kechit. So some people here say chitra jarati guhu, jarati chitra gurva. So you can either put chitra first or jarati first. Since it is a visheshana, it doesn't matter. So chitra jarati guhu. Jarati chitra guhu iti samastam padam iti vadanti. Ityukte kim pumvad bhavaha nasti. So in both cases there is no pumvad bhava seen. Chitra jarati ityeva asti jarati chitra. Pumvad bhavaha nasti iti vadanti kechit. Some people opine that there is no pumvad bhava. Evam dirgha tanvi janghaha tanvi dirgha janghaha. Dirgha tanvi jangha yasya saha. Okay. He who possesses a jangha. Jangha is the bone in the leg. Okay, it is not the thigh bone, the one below it. I don't know what exactly it is called. So that is the jangha. So dirgha tanvi. He whose jangha is long and thin. Okay. So dirgha tanvi jangha yasya saha iti samasepi ubhayatra pumvadbhavaha nasti iti kechit. Kimartham tripade bahuvrihau prathamam na pumvat uttarapadasya madhyamena vyavadhanat. What is the case here? You have chitra, jarati and go. The first one, the word chitra, cannot have पुंवद्भाव वै उत्तरपदस्य मध्यमेन व्यवधानात् उत्तरपदे परे पुंवद्भावः विधीयते उत्तरपदपरकत्वं नास्ति किल. Since the Uttarapada is separated by the middle one, Uttarapada is the final word of the Samasa, and if you have take the first word, it is not directly followed by the Uttarapada. Uttarapada parakatvam nasti. Ataha prathamasya pumbadbhavah na bhavati. Tripade bahuvrihau prathamam na pumbat Uttarapadasya madhyamena vyavadhanat. Dvitiyamapi na pumbat purvapadatva abhavat. You come to the second one. The say Chitra Jarati Gauho, you have Chitra will not get Pumbadbhava because it is not followed by the Uttarapada directly. Jarati will also not get Pumbadbhava because it is not the Purvapada. Purvapadasya Uttarapade pare Pumbadbhava iti uchyate. Prathamapadam Purvapadam. The first word is the Purvapada, but it is not immediately followed by the Uttarapada. The second word is not the Purvapada. Okay, so therefore it will also not get pumbadbhava. Dvitiyamapi na pumbat purvapadatva bhavat. Uttarapada shabdo hi samasasya charamavayave rudhaha. So by convention, Uttarapada can mean any word which follows, but by convention, the word Uttarapada means the final part of a samasa. The last word in a samasa is called Uttarapada. Okay. So Chitra Jarati Gauho ityatra Go Shabdasyaiva Uttarapadam iti uchyate. So Jarati is not Uttarapada. It is only the last word of a samasa is called Uttarapada. Purvapada shabdastu prathamayave rudhaha. Whereas Purvapada is the first word. Okay. So those in between form neither Purvapada or Uttarapada. So in this case where there is a bahunam bahuvrihi, tatra prathamasyapi pumbadbhavah na bhavati, dvitiyasyapi na bhavati iti kechit vadanti. Charama, there's a question, what is Charama? Charama means last, final. Vastutastu Neha Purvapadam Akshipyate. So he says, but actually the Purvapada, Purvapadasya Uttarapade pare pumbadbhavaha iti nasti. Purvapadasya akshepaha nasti. Akshepa means anangritaha ityatra yatha. He gives an example. Anangrito dvandve iti sutramasti. Rudantanam dvandve anang syat uttarapade pare. When you have a dvandva of rikarantas, hrasva rikarantas, uttarapade pare anang iti adesha bhavati. There is anang as the adesha when followed by the uttarapada. Okay. Tatra chaturnam dvandve. If you do a dvandva of 4 rikarantas, hotru potru neshtodgataraha iti upantyasya neshtuhu anang udahrataha samarthah padavidhihi ityatra bhashye. So Bhashyakara, giving an example, he gives when there is a samasa of 4, hotru potru neshtru udgatru iti chaturnam samase, upantyasya arthat neshtru ityasya. The uttarapada is udgatru. The final word is the uttarapada. Tasmin pare yadasti neshtru iti padam tasya anangadeshah kritaha. Right? Neshta udgataraha. Anangi krite neshta iti bhavati. Neshtodgataraha iti bhavati. Upantyasya neshtuhu anang udahrataha. Now this is a similar case. Uttarapade pare ityuchyate. Purvapadasyaiva anang bhavati iti yadi niyamaha. If you are saying that only the Purvapada will get anang when followed by the Uttarapada, hotru potru neshtodgataraha ityatra Purvapadam hotru. Uttarapadam udgatru. Now, hotru cannot have anang because it is not directly followed by Uttarapada, and neshtru is not a Purvapada. It is not the first avayava of a samasa. Tathapi tatra anang kritaha. Katham Purvapadam na akshipyate. Always the tendency is Uttarapade pare ityukte Purvapadasya karyam iti akshepaha kriyate. When followed by an Uttarapada means the Purvapada will get the karya. So only if you do the akshepa, if you bring in, it is understood that it is for the Purvapada. If you bring in that Purvapada, then neshtru cannot have anang at all because it is not the Purvapada. Kintu bhashye eva udahratam hotru potru neshtodgataraha ityatra upantyasya anang bhavati. whichever is immediately followed by the Uttarapada will get Anang. So going by the same logic, Chitrajaratyo gavo yasya iti dvandvagarbhepi chitrajaradguhu iti bhashyam. So also there is a another thing which he says, Chitrajaratyo gavo yasya. Okay. Iti samase. Initially we have a dvandva. Chitracha jaraticha chitrajaratyau. Chitrajaratyau gavau yasya iti bahuvrihi. Dvandva garbhaha bahuvrihi. Initially you have a dvandva, then you have bahuvrihi. Tatra chitrajaradguhu. So there the chitrajarati is the word. It gets pumbadbhava, it becomes chitrajaradguhu iti bhashyam. So he says, even when there is a dvandva in between, there is form like chitrajaradguhu, which means even when there is no dvandva, the Uttarapada, I mean that which is followed by the Uttarapada will get pumbadbhava. Chitra jarati gauhu yasya ityatra Uttarapade pare purva tatah purvam yadasti, the one which immediately precedes the Uttarapada will get pumbadbhava. So chitra jarati go iti sthite jarati ityasya pumbadbhavah bhavati. Chitra jaradguhu iti rupam. Okay. So chitra jaratyo gavo yasya iti dvandva garbhe api. So even when there is dvandva and then you do bahuvrihi, tatrapi pumbadbhavah bhavati chitra jaradguhu. So whether we do directly bahuvrihi for 3 words, or we first combine 2 in a dvandva and then do a bahuvrihi, tatrapi ubhayatra jarati shabdasya pumbadbhavah bhavati chitra jaradguhu iti rupam. Karmadharaya purvapade tu dvayorapi pumvat. Okay. So on the other hand, if you do a karmadharaya, okay. So there are many ways in which this can split. The first case is you do a bahurihi, bahunam bahuvrihi kriyate. Jarat chitra jarati gauhu yasya saha iti bahuvrihau. Jarati ityasya uttarapade pare jarati ityasya pumbadbhavaha. You get chitra jaradguhu or jarati chitraguhu. Jarati chitra gauhu yasya saha iti samase. Jarati chitra guhu. The one which is immediately preceded by the Uttarapada will get pumbadbhava. Iti dikshitanam siddhantaha. Okay. Purvapakshe ubhayorapi pumbadbhavaha na bhavati iti uktam. Vastutaha siddhante Uttarapade pare tatpurvam yadasti tasya pumbadbhavaha bhavati. So that is the first case where you have pure bahuvrihi. Dvandvagarbhaha bahuvrihi. Adau chitracha jaraticha. Chitra bhinna jarati bhinna. Dvau gavau staha. Chitra jarati. One of them is multicolored, the other is old. Okay. Chitra cha jarati cha chitra jaratyau. Chitra jaratyau gavau yasya iti dvandvagarbhaha bahuvrihi. Tatrapi chitra jarati ityasya pumbadbhavaha. Now that is a samasta pada. Tasya pumbadbhave chitra jarat iti bhavati chitra jaradguhu ityeva rupam. Karmadharaya purvapade tu. On the other hand, if you combine the first 2 words in a karmadharaya samasa, jarati cha chitra cha iti idanim karmadharaya. The same cow, it is old and it is multicolored. If you are doing dvandva, it is 2 different cows. Chitra gauhu bhinna, jarati gauhu bhinna. Okay. But if both are the same, that is the same cow is multicolored and old, tada kim bhavati adau karmadharaya. Jarati cha chitra cha iti jarati cha asau chitra cha iti karmadharaya samase. Jarati chitra iti sthite पुंवत् कर्मधारय देशीयेषु जातीय देशीयेषु इत्यनेन जरति इत्यस्य पुंवद्भावः भवति जरच्चित्रा इत्यस्ति. इदानीं जरच्चित्रा गौः यस्य सः, he whose cow is jarati and chitra. So jarachitra gauhu yasya saha iti sthite jarachitra ityasya pumbadbhave jarachitra guhu. Chitra ityasyapi pumbadbhavah bhavati jarachitra guhu. So karmadharaya purvapade tu dvayorapi pumbvat. Okay. Is this clear? We have seen 3 options so far. If it is a pure bahuvrihi of 3 words, only the last word, the one before the Uttarapada, will get Pumbadbhava. So you can either have Chitra Jaradguhu or Jarati Chitraguhu. Okay. So if it is a Dvandva Garbha Bahuvrihi, then also the last one, that is the one before the Uttarapada. Go Shabdat Purvam Yadasti Tasya Pumbadbhava Bhavati Chitra Jaradguhu iti bhavati. Karmadharaya Garbhe Bahuvriho. If you initially do a Karmadharaya and then do Bahuvrihi, then both words can have Pumbadbhava. आदौ कर्मधारय समासे पूर्वपदस्य पुंवद्भावः भवति जरच्चित्र ततः जरच्चित्रा इत्यस्य पुंवद्भावे जरच्चित्र इति भवति जरच्चित्रगुः ओके एनी क्वेश्चन सो फार कर्मधारय उत्तरपदे तु initially you combine this with jarati gauhu iti karmadharaya samasah. The uttarapada will combine with the karmadharaya. What we did previously, the first two words jarati and chitra combined in a karmadharaya. Now we are doing a karmadharaya for the last two words jarati gauhu. Ityatra kim bhavati jarati go ityasti karmadharaya samasah. Goratadhitaluki ityanena touch samasantah bhavati. The word go, when it is at the end of a samasa, will get touch. So you have jarati go a gava iti avadeshaha tataha tachaha titvat tidhana ityanena ngi bhavati gavi iti bhavati. Jarati gavi tatra purvapadasya pumbadbhavah bhavati. Because it is karmadharaya, you have pumbadbhava, it becomes jaradgavi. Okay. So the first samasa is jaradgavi. Then we do a bahuvrihi. Chitra jaradgavi yasya saha. So the meaning finally is the same. It means one whose cow is both old and multicolored. But how you are doing a samasa is what matters to get at the final form. So chitra jaradgavi yasya saha iti krite. Chitra shabdasya pumbadbhavaha bhavati. Chitra jaradgavi kaha nadritascha ityanena kap samasantah bhavati. We will see this sutra later. So samasantaha kap pratyaya bhavati. So it becomes jaradgavika. Chitra jaradgavikaha iti rupam. So looking at the rupa itself, we can say what is the initial samasa. Okay. If there is kap samasanta, it means that initially there was karmadharaya uttarapada. The karmadharaya for the last two words. Okay. Chitra jaradgavikaha ubhayohu pumbadbhavah bhavati. Chitra ityasyapi pumbadbhavah jarad ityasyapi kintu ante kap samasantopi shruyate. Chitra jaradgavikaha. If we do a karmadharaya for the first two words, tada ubhayohu pumbadbhavah bhavati chitra jaradguhu iti rupam. Adau dvandva samasah kriyate chet chitra jaradguhu. The first word will not have pumbadbhava, the second word will have. If you do a plain bahuvrihi with no intermediate samasa, tadapi prathamasya pumbadbhavah na bhavati dvitiyasya bhavati chitra jaradguhu. So there are four cases where he illustrates. So you can have pumbadbhava either for one or both, but no pumbadbhava is not an option. Chitra jarati guhu itiva jarati chitra guhu itiva na bhavati. One of them will definitely have pumbadbhava. Any questions? Striyaha kim. So now we do the dalakritya of the sutra. Striyah pumvat bhashita pumska anung samanadhikarane striyam apurani priyadishu. Asti striyaha. Striyaha pumvat iti kimartham uchyate. You already have the word called bhashita pumska. Bhashita pumskam nama pullinge bhavati strilinge api bhavati iti jnayate. So that which is strilinga can be called a bhashita pumska. Punaha striyaha iti kimartham vaktavyam. Strivachakasya iti prashnaha.
when you already have the word bhashita pumska, it means that which is telling strilinga now, which has already given pullinga and is telling strilinga now. So punaha kimartham striyaha iti vaktavyam iti prashnaha. Gramani kulam drishtihi asya. Gramani drishtihi asya saha. The word gramani, gramam nayati iti gramanihi. Okay, he who leads the village, the head of the village is called gramani. So the word gramani can be in pullinga. Gramanihi means the head of the village. It can be in pullinga and strilinga. It can also be in napumsakalinga. Gramani kulam, a family which leads the, that was the usual case. There is a family which traditionally which leads the village. So tada gramani drishtihi asya. We are doing a samasa with napumsakalinga. Now this gramani is also a bhashita pumska. Right? So because it has a form tulya pravritti nimitte ukta pumskatvam asti. Kinsu strivachakam na. It is a word which exists in both pullinga and napumsakalinga. Okay. So napumsakalingasya pumbadbhavah na bhavati, strivachakasya iva bhashita pumskasya pumbadbhavah bhavati. Tadartham gramani drishtihi asya ityatra gramani drishtihi. Atra pumbadbhavah na drishyate, atah striyaha iti uchyate. So to prevent pumbadbhava for napumsakalinga words, the word striyaha has been used in the sutra. Gramani padam bhashita pumskam na strivachakam. Okay, so bhashita pumska can be a word which is in pullinga and strilinga, also a word which is pullinga and napumsakalinga. Okay, so there are such words. So those will be called bhashita pumska, but since they are not strivachakas, there will be no pumbadbhava. Strivachakasya eva pumbadbhavah uktaha. Bhashita pumskat kim? Ganga bharyaha. Ganga bharya yasya saha iti sthite. Ganga ityasya pumbadbhavah na bhavati. Nitya strilingatvat. It is a strivachaka and anunganta, but it is nitya strilinga, not a bhashita pumska. Bhashita pumskasya eva pumbadbhavah bhavati. Anung kim? Ungantah na bhavet iti kimartham? Vamoru bharyaha. Vamoruhu bharya yasya saha. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. So there was, I think, a break in connection. So Vamoruhu bharya yasya saha. The word Vamoruhu. Vamam nama sundaram. Sundarau uru yasya saha. Iti samasaha. She has beautiful thighs. Ityarthe samasaha. Vamoruhu iti bhashita pumskam. So it can have Vamoruhu. Vamau yasya saha ityapi bhavitum arhati. So bhashita pumskam strivachakam. Kintu ungantam. It ends in the stri pratyaya ung. Because of it, Vamoru bharyaha ityatra pumbadbhavah nasti. Ungantam bhavati chet pumbadbhavah na bhavati. Vamoru bharyaha. Samanadhikarane uttarapade iti kimartham? Kalyanyaha mata. Kalyanyaha mata, the mother of Kalyani. Atra Kalyani shabdasya matra shabdasya cha samanadhikaranyam nasti. All the other rules are satisfied. Purvapadam Kalyani, it is strivachakam, bhashita pumskam, anungantam. Uttarapadam api strivachakam. Kintu samanadhikaranam na. Since there is no samanadhikaranya, there is no pumbadbhava. Striyam kim? Uttarapadam api strivachakam bhavet. Kalyani pradhanam yasya saha. Pradhana shabdaha nitya napumsakaha. It is a compulsory napumsakalinga word. It means that which is the chief. So that he who is chief, whatever it could be, something for whom Kalyani is very important is called Kalyani Pradhanaha. Tatra Uttarapadam Strivachakam na. Tasmat Kalyani ityatra pumbadbhavah nasti. Okay, so all these are counter examples for the sutra where the rule will not apply if any of these is not satisfied. So there are 3 rules for the Purvapada, 3 for the Uttarapada. Purvapadam Strivachakam bhavet, Bhashitapumskam bhavet, Anungantam bhavet. Uttarapadam Samanadhikaranam bhavet, Strivachakam bhavet, Apurani Priya. Purana Pratyantaha Bhinnaha, Purana Pratyanta Bhinnaha, Priyadigana Patita Shabdayabhya Bhinnaha bhavet. So even if one of these is not satisfied, we will not have Pumbad Bhava. Any questions here? I think there was one question which I have. An older question. Tanvi Dirgha Jangha, meaning Jangha. Jangha is the bone in the leg. Okay, so not the thigh bone, the one below that, the one which is in the proper bone of the leg is called Jangha. So he whose Jangha is Tanvi, is thin, and Dirgha, very long. This Tanvi Dirgha Jangha. Any other questions? So then, Apurani Priyadishu. Purana Pratyante pare, Priyadigana Patiteshu pareshu, Pumbad Bhavaha nasti. Tarhi kim bhavati? Iti Shamaschet. Ap Purani Pramannyoho iti Sutramasti. Ap Purani Pramannyoho iti Paradvayam. Bahuvrihau Sakthakshnoho Swangatshachit ityataha Bahuvrihau iti anuvartate. So Purana Pratyantam yat Strilingam Tadantat Pramanyantat cha Bahuvrihehe up syat. If there is a Purana Pratyanta Strilinga or the word Pramani in a Bahuvrihi Samasa, there is up as the Samasanta. This is a Samasanta Vidhayaka Sutra. Okay. He is giving a counter example of the Purana Pratyanta. So what is Puranartha Pratyaha? The words Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, Panchama, etc. You have one and you have first. So you have two and second. Okay. So the one, they are called ordinals and cardinals. Okay. So these forms, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, etc. are called Purana Pratyanta. Tasya Purane Dat ityadini sutrani santi. So they are all called the Puranartha Pratyayas. So when followed by these words, there is no Pumbad Bhava. Apurani Priyadishu iti yuktatvat Pumbad Bhavaha nasti iti ekaha amshaha. Tasya samasasya up iti samasantaha bhavati iti dvitiyaha amshaha. Kalyani Panchami Yasam Ratrinam Taha. Ratrinam iti navashakam. Kalyani Panchami Yasam. They, among whom the fifth is very auspicious. A group of 5 nights, of which the fifth is very auspicious. Okay. Or it can be a group of 10 nights, of which the fifth is auspicious. Okay. So Kalyani Panchami Yasam Ratrinam Taha. Kalyani Panchama Ratrayaha. Kim bhavati Kalyani Panchami Yasam Taha iti Laukika Vigraha. So Kalyani Su Panchami Su Anekam Anyapadarthe ityanena Samasaha. Up iti Samasantaha. Up Purani Pramanyoho. Purana Pratyayantaschet up iti Samasantaha bhavati. So we add up. Supodhatu Pratipadikayoho ityanena subluk. Kalyani Panchami A ityasti. Yasyeti cha ityanena Panchami ityatra ikarasya lopah. Kalyani Panchama ityasti. Tasmat Stritvat Achadyatashta ityanena tap kriyate. Savarna dirghaha Kalyani Panchama ityasti. Tasmat just pratyaha. Because it is a Visheshana to Ratri, which is Strilinga, this will also be Strilinga and Bahuvachanam. So you do just and then there is Rutva Visarga, you have Kalyani Panchamaha. Kalyani Panchamaha Ratrayaha means those nights among whom the fifth is very auspicious. Kalyani Panchami Yasam Taha. So because it is a Purana Pratyayanta, Panchami iti Purana Pratyayantatvat, अपूरणी प्रियादिषु इत्युक्तत्वात् पूर्वपदस्य पुंवद्भावः नास्ति. It does not become कल्याण पंचमाः, it is कल्याणी पंचमाः. Okay. स्त्री प्रमाणी यस्य सः स्त्री प्रमाणः. He to whom a स्त्री, a woman is pramana, that is the source of authority. That is, he listens to whatever she says. इत्यर्थे स्त्री प्रमाणी यस्य सः स्त्री प्रमाणः. अप पूरणी sorry, what is the sutra? Apurani pramanyoho ityuchyate. So if there is a pramani shabda at the end of a samasa, there is up. So it becomes pramani a ikarasya lope pramanaha. Stri pramanaha. The purvapada here, it is a nitya strilinga. Stri is a nitya strilinga word. It is not a bhashita pumska. Therefore, there is no pumvadbhava prasangaha eva nasti. You cannot have pumvadbhava here at all. The Uttarapada has the up as the Samasanta. Okay. Pumvadbhava pratishedhaha apratyayascha pradhana puranyameva iti vartikam. So this vartika says what we have, the apurani pramani अपूरणी प्रियादिषु इति यः पुंवद्भाव निषेधः उच्यते तथा अप् पूरणी प्रमाण्योः इत्यनेन यः अप् समासान्तः उच्यते उभयमपि प्रधान पूरण्याम्. When the puranaartha is pradhana, has pradhanya in the samasa. So for example, when you are saying kalyani panchami yasam ratrinam, they of whom the fifth is kalyani. Now samasena kim yuchyate iti drashtavyam. So kalyani panchami ityanena panchami ratrihi uchyate. Samastapadena kalyani panchamaha nama ratrayaha. So samastapadena api ratrihi eva uchyate. Panchami iti purana pratyayantena api ratrihi eva uchyate. Ataha ratrihi purani vachyacha purana pratyayantena api ratrihi eva uchyate. समस्तपदेनापि रात्रिः एव उच्यते इत्यतः तस्मिन् उदाहरणे पूरणप्रत्ययान्तस्य प्राधान्यमस्ति. तत्र पुंवद्भावप्रतिषेधः अप्रत्ययश्च. कल्याणी पञ्चमाः इत्यत्र रात्रयः यत्र पञ्चमी कल्याणी समासेनापि रात्रिः उच्यते पूरणप्रत्ययान्तेनापि पञ्चमी इत्यनेनापि रात्रिरेव उच्यते. अतः पूरणप्रत्ययान्तस्य प्राधान्यमस्ति. So you have both pumvadbhava pratishedha and the up pratyaya. But what happens anyatra? Anyatra udaharane kalyani panchami yasya saha pakshaha ityarthe. We take a fortnight of which the fifth is auspicious. Kalyani panchami yasya saha. There is a typo. It is not yasya saha. It is yasya saha. Kalyani panchami yasya saha iti samasaha. Now here panchami, the purana pratyayantha indicates a ratri, but yasya saha iti samasena kimuchyate pakshaha uchyate natu ratrihi. The samasa indicates a paksha, whereas the purana pratyayantha indicates a ratri. Okay, ratri is subordinate to the paksha. It is apradhana. In this case, kalyani panchama yasam ratrinam taha iti udaharane पंचमी इति पूर्ण प्रत्ययान्तेनापि रात्रिः उच्यते. समस्तपदेनापि कल्याणी पंचमाः रात्रयः समस्तपदेनापि रात्रिः एव उच्यते. अतः तस्य प्राधान्यमस्ति. अत्र तु कल्याणी पंचमी यस्य सः पक्षः इत्युक्ते पूर्ण प्रत्ययान्तेन रात्रिः उच्यते. समासेन तु पक्षः उच्यते न तु पंचमी रात्रिः. Ataha tasyaha pradhanyam nasti. So purana pratyayanta is not pradhana here. It is not indicated by the samasa. Pradhanya means being part of the samasartha. Samasarthe ratrihi nantarbhavati paksheva antarbhavati ityatah pradhanyam nasti. Pradhanyam nasti chet pumvadbhava pratishedha nasti apratyayopi na bhavati. So we neither have pumvadbhava pratishedha nor do we have up. What will happen if we don't have up? There is a different samasanta. Nadritascha iti sutram. Nadi ritaha cha iti chedaha. Bahuvrihau ityanuvartate. Kap ityapi anuvartate. नद्युत्तरपदात् ऋदन्तोत्तरपदात् च बहुव्रीहेः कप् स्यात्. So there is kap as a samasanta. If the uttarapada in a bahuvrihi is ridanta, hrasvarkaranta, or nadyuttarapada, the uttarapada is nadi. What does nadi mean? Use triakhyau nadi. It is samya sutram. Nadi does not mean a river. In Vyakarana, like vruddhi, we have a different samya called nadi. Use triakhyau nadi. Idudantau nitya strilingau. A nitya strilinga word which is ikaranta or ukaranta is called nadi. Okay. So here in this case, kalyani panchami yasya saha iti udaharane pumbadbhavaha bhavati kap api bhavati. So kalyana panchami pumbadbhavaha asti tataha kap iti samasantaha. Samasante krite kalyana panchami ka ityasti. Kenaha ityanena hrasvo bhavati va iti prashnaha. He just raises this question. Ke anaha iti sutram asti. Shridrupram hrasvo va ityanena hrasvaha ityena vartate. Ke pare anaha hrasvaha syat. Where followed by ka, an an letter will be shortened. Okay, it is a sutra. Iti prapte. So actually here kalyana panchami ka ityasti. Tatra panchami ityasya hrasvaha kenaha ityanena prapnoti. Kintu na kapi iti nishedhaha. Kapi pare anaha hrasvaha nasyat. When followed by kap, there is no hrasva, which means the form will be kalyana panchami kaha pakshaha. Pakshaha iti anya padarthaha. Kalyana panchami kaha. Panchami ityatra hrasvaha nasti. Kap samasantaha. Kalyani ityatra pumbadbhavaha drishyate. Even though panchami is a purana pratyayanta, since it is not pradhana, there is pumbadbhava and we have kalyana panchami kaha pakshaha. Yatra purana pratyayanta arthaha tasya samasarthe antarbhavaha asti. When it is pradhana, tada pumbadbhavaha nasti ap samasantaha bhavati. Kalyani panchamaha ratrayaha iti. Yatra pradhanyam nasti tatra pumbadbhavaha bhavati kap samasantaha bhavati kalyana panchami kaha pakshaha. Okay, so please note the difference in meaning in both. There is kalyani panchamaha ratrayaha, kalyana panchami kaha pakshaha. Both of them are bahuvrihi samasa, but there is a difference in what they convey. So katham prakriya kalyani su panchami su aneka vanya padarthe. The first step is the same in both. Kintu atra nadritascha ityanena kap bhavati. Previously we did up by appurani pramanyoh. Atra tu kap bhavati. Subluk supodhatu ityanena striyah pumvat ityanena pumbadbhavaha kalyana panchamika. You add supratyaya, it becomes kalyana panchamikaha pakshaha. Okay. Any questions? Atra tirohita avayavabhedasya pakshasya anyapadarthataya ratrihi apradhanam. So night, even though a fortnight is comprised of 15 nights, so a paksha does not refer to the individual components. Okay, tirohita avayavabhedasya. The difference in its components is tirohita, is not visible. Paksha, we are viewing it as one entity and not as 15 nights. Okay, paksha means a fortnight, which is one entity. So since that is the anya padartha, ratrihi apradhanam. Each night of that paksha is treated as apradhana. Bahukartrukaha. This is an example, another example for nadritascha. Bahavaha kartaraha yasya saha. Bahukartru ityasti. Hridantat kap samasantaha bhavati. Ataha bahukartrukaha iti rupam. So bahukartru kap. Hridantatvat nadritascha ityanena samasanto bhavati. Okay. Apriyadishu kim. So we are still with striyah pumvat. Don't lose that thread. That is the main thread. Striyah pumvat bhashita pumskad anung samanadhikarane striyam ityanena pumvat bhavaha uktaha. ततः अपूरणी प्रियादिषु इत्युच्यते. पूरणप्रत्ययान्ते परे पुंवद्भावः नास्ति. पुंवद्भावः नास्ति चेत् किं भवति? अप् समासान्तो भवति. अथवा पूरणप्रत्ययान्ते परेऽपि तस्य अप्राधान्ये पुंवद्भावः भवति इति दृष्टम्. सो दट् इस् अबौट् अपूरणी. इट् आल्सो सेस् अप्रियादिषु. प्रियादिगणे ये शब्दाः पठिताः तेषु परेषु पुंवद्भावः नास्ति. कल्याणी प्रियः. कल्याणी प्रिया यस्य सः. He to whom Kalyani is beloved. So tasmin arthe. Now Kalyani is a bhashita pumska, a strivachaka and anunganta. Kalyani priya yasya ityatra uttarapadam samanadhikaranam strivachakam sarvam asti kintu priyadigane. Priyadigana, the class priyadi begins with priya. अतः तस्मिन् गणे यदि उत्तरपदं पठितं तर्हि पुंवद्भावः न भवति. कल्याणी प्रियः. So which are the words in that gana? He gives here. Priya, Manojna, Kalyani, Subhaga, Durbhaga, Bhaktihi, Sachiva, Swasa, Kanta, Kshanta, Sama, Chapala, Duhita, Vama, Avala, Tanaya. So if any of these words form the Uttarapada, then you will not have Pumbadbhava. Okay. Kalyani, Kanta, Yasya Saha. It may not be Kalyani, it could be anything. Sundari, Kanta, Yasya Saha. Sundari, Kantaha, Ityeva Bhavati. Sundara Kantaha, Iti na Bhavati. Evameva Anyatra. No, but there is a form which is seen. Okay, that is about Apurani Priyadishu. Kintu Dridha Bhaktihi iti ekam rupam shruyate. It has been used, I think, by Kalidasa himself somewhere. Dridha Bhaktihi yasya saha. He whose devotion is very firm. Dridha Bhaktihi yasya saha iti Samaasa. Kim bhavet Bhakti Shabdaha Priyadigane Pathitaha. Tasmat Dridha ityatra Pumbadbhavaha nasyat. There should not be Pumbadbhava, which means the form should be Dridha Bhaktihi. Like we have Kalyani Priyaha, it should be Dridha Bhaktihi. Kintu Dridha Bhaktihi iti rupam prayogaha drishyate. We see a prayoga Dridha Bhaktihi. Katham tasya prayogasya sadhutvam. How can that be correct? Since Bhakti is a word in the Priyadigana, there should not be Pumbadbhava. If there is no Pumbadbhava, the form should be Dridha Bhaktihi. Dridha Bhaktihi iti katham iti prashnaha. Samanye napumsakam. You saw this rule. Samanya, in general, when a particular linga is not intended or not known, we use napumsakalinga. So what do we do here? Dridham bhaktihi yasya saha. Dridham ityatra samanye napumsakam. Just something which is firm. There is no linga vivaksha. We are not making it as a visheshana to anything. We just make it as dridham, as firm. Then we bring in the other word. Dridham bhaktihi yasya saha. Dridha bhaktihi iti bhavati. So, Priyadigane pathitatvat Dridha bhaktihi yasya iti vigrahe Pumbadbhava na syat. Ataha Dridha bhaktihi ityatra Dridha bhaktihi yasya iti vigraha na vaktavyaha. Dridham bhaktihi yasya. Dridham iti visheshanam na. It is not taken as a visheshana to bhakti. Just generally something is firm. Then we call it as Samanye napumsakam. Dridham bhaktihi yasya saha. Stritva vivakshayam tu. If stritva is intended, that is, if we intend it as a visheshana to bhakti, tada dridha bhaktihi iti rupam sadhu. Dridha bhaktihi yasya saha. Dridha bhaktihi ityapi rupam bhavitum arhati. Dridha bhaktihi iti prayuktam. Since it has already been used, it can be justified by using samanye napumsakam. Okay. Questions? There is a question. Is samanye napumsakam interchangeable with klibam lokat? At one level maybe, but I mean the intention is different. Klibam lokat implies that there should have been a different linga. Lokat means because of usage seen in the world, it is napumsakalinga. So in this case, atratu samanye napumsakam ityasya upayoge, where there should have been strilinga for using napumsakalinga, yes, samanye napumsakam is interchangeable, but not in all cases. in actual, I mean, original applications of Samanya Napumsakam, there is no linga which can be decided at all. For example, if you have something like Pratah Kamaniyam, Prataha is an Avyaya. So there is no prasakti of Pumstva or Stritva there. So that is where Samanya Napumsakam is used. There you cannot say Klibam Lokat. It is Klibam because no other linga is there. So in cases where there should have been some other linga but Napumsaka linga has been used, there yes we say Klibam Lokat, we can say Samanya Napumsakam also. Okay. Any other questions? So before that, Usha says that the leg bone, tibia or the fibula, that is the jangha. Okay, yeah, I currently I don't remember the exact name. Yes, that is jangha. That is the one which gives strength to the leg to run or to stand. Any other questions? We'll stop here and we'll continue with Kumbhat Bhava in the next class. मुनित्रयन् नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते.